Hey Generals, senior assassination has started.
Unfortunately, registration has officially closed, so if you're in it,
You're in it to win it. So how does it work?
Well, here's some rules you need to follow first.
You can only assassinate your assigned person and with a pair of socks.
Once you tag your assigned person, you must take a picture or video for proof, and then DM it to the WNL Assassinations Instagram page.
You can only do it in the hallways after school and on your personal time.
Are you ready to create your prom look? Come to the Formals for 5 sale, where you'll browse a large selection of gently pre-loved formal wear, including dresses, tuxedos, shoes, and accessories, all for just $5 each.
The sale will be held at the WNL Little Theater this Friday, April 14th from 11 to 1, and Saturday, April 15th from 10 to 3. Proceeds benefit WNL and Wakefield Best Buddies. Prom can be expensive. The Formal for 5 sale is a great way to save money. See you there, Generals.
How are you feeling about playing Wakefield Wednesday night, April 12th? And do you have any special strategies planned for this game?
I don't have any special schemes. I mean, I think playing Wakefield is always fun. It's always tough. No matter how good our team is, they always kind of come prepared to play us, and they play us really hard. So it's always a tough game, regardless. I think we only had one regular season tie last year, and it was them. That we didn't beat them, but also obviously they didn't beat us. But I think we'll get a tough game from them. And as far as any strategy thing, we really don't do anything differently. Sometimes, depending on the opponent, we'll change some things up. But for the most part, I think it'll be pretty much kind of how we tend to play.
How do you feel about playing against your uncle's team that night, Marcelo?
It's definitely interesting. There are not many people that can say that their father is a head coach for your high school team and then your uncle is a coach for your rival school. I mean, it's definitely really cool to think about. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to play against Wakefield yet. Last year, as a sophomore on varsity, I didn't have the opportunity because it was still a pretty close game. And to think that my uncle and my dad both went to Wakefield, you'd think that I'd go there too, but since my dad's been here coaching forever, I kind of grew up just coming here. So, but yeah, I guess playing against my uncle would definitely be a fun experience. Definitely really cool to think about, and hopefully this year I get the chance to play.
What does this game mean to you and your family, and what does the rest of your family think of this?
What it means to me and my family, it's something that between me and my brother, obviously it's a rivalry. It's something that we take serious. We're both very competitive, and I think come game time it kind of shows. Before and after, it does become a little different. We share a moment on the field in remembrance of our father, but I think our family also, like my mom, she has a special shirt that she wears. It's kind of half of it is WNL, half of it is Wakefield, and our family kind of rallies around the two of us. Obviously my wife and Marcelo, my daughter, they cheer for our WNL, and then my mom will sometimes kind of cheer for both, and then the rest of the family does kind of, they just want to see a good game, I think, for the most part.
Marcelo, what are the car rides home usually like after the rides, or what is the aftermath after you play them? What usually happens?
Well, usually what happens is well, it's not really like a car ride, but what happens is that after, right, you and my uncle, they'll go out for dinner. They'll just with the family, all of us will go together. We'll all go out for dinner because the game does mean something. About the end of the day, they're both brothers and they're both celebrating going against each other, celebrating a rivalry. But yeah, car rides home. I mean, there is some chit chat back and forth. I mean, banter, but it's not that much.
Okay, with your brother being the opposing team, does your family typically have a divided rivalry, And are you expecting a hard-fought matchup that night?
It's not so much divided. Like I said, most of the family just comes together and rallies around the fact that they just want to see a good game. I think last year was definitely interesting, to say the least, because of what occurred during the game. And then in previous years, we've had a really good team and we've played well and we've been able to beat Wakefield. So I think it's not anybody in our family kind of choosing sides. We come from a big family. Aunts and uncles will tend to come to the game, but I think they just kind of want to see a good game. It's not like they really want are cheering for me or cheering for my brother. They just want to see a good game. I mean, I think it's starting to get where they just want to see my brother win one game. I think since he's been at Wakefield, he hasn't beaten me, but I'm pretty sure that day will come soon.
Okay, for the both of you, what does it mean to be a Carrasquillo when playing this sport and sharing it with others?
Well, for me, I just kind of want to carry the legacy. I mean, they had an impact playing soccer at their high school, and with the last name, both of them. I mean, they both had an impact at Wakefield. I'm trying to make a different mark at WNL, but yeah, I mean, being Carrasquillo, I mean, like our whole family, right? Like soccer, it was like our background. So
yeah, I think it's something that we take pride in, kind of enjoying the game, at least for myself and my brother, teaching the game the right way, and just helping out some of the boys that we coached throughout the years. That's what it means. It's making connections through the sport that we love, through the sport that we've played most of our lives, and just sharing the love, the passion of that, and just kind of continuing to compete through our players, and just the challenges of kind of putting together a new team every year, and kind of how either successful or how challenging that can be.
Is there a special message that you want to send to both WL and Wakefield for that night?
Just come on out. It should be a very good game. I think this year we have a good squad. I think they're also pretty tough. But again, it should be a good game. I think the more fans we have, the louder they are, the more intense the game is, the more of an atmosphere it is. Because again, just like any other sport, if the fans are into it, if they're loud, they're boisterous, they show up, they show out, it does kind of help the team, almost that 12th man. Like you do become part of that team, you become part of the field to really pushing these guys to some success, and obviously conducting ourselves in the proper manner, that we're respectful of our opponent, but at the same time that we do want to get a win out of that game.
Couldn't have said it any better. I mean, like, just showing out to the game, like if there's like a decent amount of people that go, like it makes us happy. There's a rivalry going on, so there's definitely a story behind it. But most of the guys that are on both teams, like they all know each other. Like we all play travel sometimes. Yeah, like what you just said, I think it's going to be a good game, and people can show out for it. I think it'll be a good one to watch.
And lastly, are there any traditions that you do when facing Wakefield and your brother and uncle?
Well, before the game, right?
Yeah, with Wakefield, sometimes the guys will, dress up either like a shirt and tie or something different other than just a regular game shirt or something like that. And that's with Wakefield and Yorktown. They'll do something a little different just to, sometimes people ask, well, why are you dressed up? And then it'll kind of, oh, well, we play Wakefield or we play Yorktown tonight. So that's sometimes what the team does. My brother and I, we tend to say a prayer for our father right before the game. And so other than that, the team kind of goes, for the most part, about business as usual, right?
Yeah, I mean, put up a fight. Last year was definitely something different because we got comfortable. We thought we were going to have somewhat of a lead because unfortunately Wakefield didn't have the best of the squad, but, we didn't show out that game and
got a red card that game, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that years ago, before Yorktown games, the team would get mohawks. They would all get together, shave their heads, and it was big. I think because as of late, we've had pretty good teams and pretty good success, that those little things, they've kind of fallen to the wayside, but I think they still get hyped up. They still get ready. They still really want to kind of compete against some of their friends that are at Wakefield and Yorktown, but I think definitely Wakefield is just a little different type of rivalry because it's my brother.
Audio Jungle.